Hello and welcome back to the Gazelle Lab. This is Anthony once again. Today we have the HTC Desire HD, which I've been using for, let's say, the last month or so, and we're going to put it up against the Apple iPhone 4. So this is a follow-up video to the HTC Desire against the iPhone 4, and I told all the commenters that I'd finally put up my Desire HD against the iPhone 4. So this is pretty much HTC and Android's flagship device, pretty much one of the top Android devices on the market. It recently just came to AT&T under the name HTC Inspire 4G, but this is the original HTC Desire, which was released back in late October in Europe. It was a pretty hefty price tag, around $700, $800. Now I think it's lower to about $550. Then of course Apple's flagship iPhone 4, which just came out for Verizon last month. So let's get into this battle right away. We'll start with the Desire HD. So as you can see, it's a pretty big handset. Same size, pretty much on the same size as the Evo. So if you're familiar with the Evo, you get the same 4.3-inch screen, 480 by 800 pixel resolution. It's the same resolution as my older Desire. So on a bigger screen, it's not totally impressive, but it's not. I wish they had a little bit better resolution, but it's still very nice. It's very bright. It's an LCD, no Super LCD or no AMOLED. In terms of dimensions, it's 128 by 68 by 11.0, so it's got a nice thin profile. You can see that next to the iPhone. The iPhone is still slimmer, but it's pretty nice. One thing they did change on this is the battery compartment's very difficult to take off, and over here you have SIM card, memory card, and this is pretty much hard. But this is the SIM card, memory card here, and the battery here, but they're very difficult to pop off though. I've only done it once when I first got the phone. 8 megapixel camera, the dual LED flash speaker. Speaker and sound is not the greatest on this device, but it's not bad. I think the original Desire was a little bit better in terms of speaker. No front camera. That's like the biggest disappointment on this device. And even at Mobile World Congress with the Incredible S, Desire S, those ones added front camera, but no dual core option. So I don't know, I would expect more from HTC heading into 2011. They did win Manufacturer of the Year for 2010, but the iPhone 4 took away Best Phone of 2010 at Mobile World Congress. So these two companies are pretty much neck and neck. Let's see. This is obviously an HSDPA device. This only has support for European bands. If you want the 3G version here, you need the Inspire. There's also a 3G version for TELUS, I believe, in Canada. That will work with 850 AT&T as well if it's unlocked. 8 megapixel camera, like I said. Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, 1.5 gigabytes of internal. 768 megabytes of RAM. It's upgradable to a 32 micro SD card. I have an 8 in here now that came standard with it. Like I said before, Bluetooth. It does 720p video, which is pretty good. No secondary camera. It's running Android. This is 2.2.1. I'll show you that in the menu. About phone. Let's see. Software information. So right there you can see. They say 2.3 should be coming to this shortly, as I just read in the news. So we'll see how that improves the device as well. Google Maps, GPS, pretty much everything else standard. It's got the new generation, the Scorpion processor from Qualcomm. It's the Snapdragon. It's the MSM8255. So it's a little bit snappier than the previous Desire, which I like. It's I think the MyTouch 4G for T-Mobile also has the same processor. And of course it's got the brand new Sense UI, which is great. So you got the 7-window screen, you got all the menus, 4 each way, 3 on each side in the home screen. So it's very nice. I got some cool apps in here. All your standard stuff for Android. So it's pretty nice. It's probably, I think it's still right now, it's still currently the best HTC phone out there. So let's take a look at it next to the iPhone now. So I'll get into the iPhone. Most people are already familiar with a lot of the specs on this. So we have 115 by 58 by 9.3, so it's still the thinnest phone on here. So if we look at the top, you have the 3.5 jack and the power button. on the iPhone, and the Desire HD just has the power button, has the 3.5 checks on the bottom for the Desire, which is kind of, I don't know, I don't really like it on the bottom. I wish it was on the top. And micro USB and the standard Apple connector with the speakers. This does have it has nicer sound than the Desire HD, I think, on the iPhone. The brilliant Retina display, 640 by 960, 3.5 inches. The Desire HD looks like a monster compared to it. Once you get used to holding a phone this big, it's really hard to go back to a smaller screen, I think. I think 4 inches should be like a smartphone standard. I think 4 is perfect. This is 3.5. Regular Desire was 3.7. This at 4.3 is a tad too big. So I think like the Galaxy S line at 4 with the Super AMOLED, still top screen on the market, no matter what people say. It's a great screen. This is a 16 gigabyte version. Also comes in 32 gigabyte, 512 of RAM. It's got the Apple, the A4 1 gigahertz processor, which is actually, I think it's overclocked at 1 gigs. It does 720p video. The camera is real nice. It's got the FaceTime front camera, which lacks on the HTC Desire HD. It uses one of the new micro SIM ports on the side, you can see. So there's nothing on this side for the Desire, and on the other side you can see they both have volume rockers. The Desire HD volume rocker is a little bit harder to push than the one on the iPhone 4, but it's not terribly bad. So like GPS still present, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, 3G, pretty much all the standard features on every smartphone that you would find on both of these devices. Like I said, these are 2 flagship devices here. So obviously, we can go into the menu right now. Let's take a look at the browser. Right now I'm using a Dolphin browser on my Desire. I think it's much better, renders the web much better than the standard browser. So let's go, I'm gonna load up eBay on one, and then I'll load up eBay on the other. We can see the differences, what the browsers look like. Okay, obviously they're both still pretty fast. They're both on Wi-Fi right now, so just like I said, this Desire, I have T-Mobile on the Desire HD, so there is no support for their 3G or their 4G networks. So there you go. You can see the brightness in the iPhone's a little bit brighter, a little bit sharper. But what you make up for in the lack of brightness, you do get this nice size 4.3 screen, obviously with pinch to zoom. So I'll put this on. So you can see you get a little bit better clarity in the iPhone, but you get a lot more real estate with the Desire HD. I love the Desire HD for streaming video. Is fantastic. I have it set up with Slingbox, and the 4.3-inch screen is really nice on it. I wish it did have a kickstand like the HD7 does, but oh well, can't have everything. So like I said, this one has the Desire HD does have an 8 megapixel camera, which we'll get into the cameras right now. I think it's a pretty good camera. It's pretty decent. It's online with like I say, with maybe a Sony like an Xperia or something. Video, 720p video is not, I think actually the iPhone does video a little bit better, to tell you the truth, but the camera I think on the Desire HD is still somewhat better. So there's a lot of options too. With photo editing, you can do a lot of different stuff, and obviously you can zoom in and out over here. So let me set this back a little. Take a picture of this lock. Just touch to focus. So we'll take a very decent picture. Okay, and then let's try it with the iPhone. There, we'll zoom. So there are 2 pictures, and you know, you get the 8 megapixel on the left, the 5 megapixel on the right, but the screen on the iPhone does make the image look a little bit brighter, a little bit more peppy. But once you put these on a computer, I'm sure you'll probably see some really good quality in the Desire HD. But for a 5 megapixel camera, this is the best 5 megapixel camera on the market, I think, for the iPhone 4. So there you have it. These are two of the best phones out there, like I said previously. It all depends. If you're an Android guy, I think this is probably your top choice. Obviously, if you're iPhone, you're limited to that one model. Uh, Hopefully, we can see a dual core option coming HTC's way. The Motorola Atrix 4G is going to come out this week, and that's really pretty much the first dual core option we'll see in a handset. Many are expecting an iPhone 5 to have a dual core option as well, so that would be interesting. But I think with HTC's offerings at Mobile World Congress, I wasn't too impressed with their new lines with the Incredible S and the Desire S. So we'll see how this battle plays out. Hopefully, we can get a third battle going, a third generation of the battle. We had the Desire, now Desire HD, maybe Desire S, and we'll probably put it against the iPhone 5 when that comes out. Desire S is expected in April right now, around 500-600 euros according to Amazon Germany. So we'll see how that rolls out to the US. This is Anthony for the Gazelle Lab. Thanks for watching.